It's been a bit over 2 months since we've had any footy action, and you can tell by some of the stories that are dominating the media cycle at the moment. We're just a bit over a week away until footy returns, and we've all picked out a story that we're just kind of sick of seeing, that we want to get rid of, for it to die and to move on with the footy. BB, there's a lot I think you've got that you want to get off your chest. What do you want to start with?
Yeah, I've got a lot to get off my chest here. I'm basically just sick of like all the non-footy story. I just want footy back, basically. So all the off-field stuff, the social distancing stuff, the referees, the rule changes. Look, I'm just sick of it. I need footy back. I want to go back to arguing about refereeing decisions, about knock-ons, missed knock-ons, about tries that weren't tries, about the video referee taking too long and getting it wrong. I want to go back to that. The stuff that sort of keeps footy going, I want to go back to that. I'm sick of some of these stories. Yes, they're newsworthy for a day or two, but just because there's been nothing else to talk about with no actual footy on, they just drag on and on and on. And boys, I know you guys have got a couple that perfectly illustrate that point as well. So I've got more to say, but I'm going to wrap it up there.
Well, as we can see, I think BB's been growing his beard out for every day that there hasn't been. So that chin will make a long-awaited return when Thursday comes around next week. But Liam, there's one particular storyline that I think you're just sick of, and sick of the media coverage that for some reason it's been granted.
Yeah, it's the Latrell Mitchell stuff. Personally, I love Latrell Mitchell. He's a fantastic footballer. He's a great role model for young kids. Yes, he's done some silly things, but I'm sure for the last, however long, not every single person in Australia that have been bagging him have been abiding by the social distancing rules 24/7. I think he's a fantastic player, like I said, and I think that the media stuff about him at training, while a lot of other boys are probably struggling with the fitness sort of thing, it just needs to stop now. Let the bloke play footy, and hopefully he carves up against the Roosters next week.
So do you think he'll be playing football? No, I won't go there. But Danksy, you've got a big one that I think has been dominating the headlines, that I think we can all four of us agree. We cannot wait for this one just to disappear once the footy starts.
Yeah, and obviously it feels a bit strange saying this because it's a completely valid news story, or it was 2 weeks ago. Just the whole flu vaccines thing. When you think of all the drama that's happened now, and it came to Bryce Cartwright getting an exemption. So it was all for nothing. I guess we're probably a little bit more aware of it being in the Zoom press conferences every single day with all the players being asked the first question, the third question, the fifth question, every time. What do you think about the flu vaccines? They can't say anything, obviously, because there's horrible optics to it. But I'm so over it, and it just seems like all of that was for nothing. It could have been 2 stories, instead it was 200.
Do you think the NRL should have just come down hard? And do you think because their policy was a bit wishy-washy, do you think that contributed to becoming more of a story?
Oh, I think they're in a horrible place no matter what happens. I actually think they handled it all right. And they had the state government's backing in it. There was a little bit of a different thing with what was happening on a national level and a state level, but eventually all kind of sort of worked out. As I said, horrible situation. And thank God, it is now done. Oh, and Bryce isn't even playing for first round back. Sick.
Well, I've got one much smaller than those.
And
stories.
another thing.
One I need to get off my chest, and I think I've seen a lot of people agree with on Twitter, the amount of comparisons to this MJ Last Dance documentary that we've seen different players take. I think we've seen players say, oh, this person's kind of like MJ, or I drew inspiration from MJ. And then in other sports around Australia, we've been like, what if we were to do the Last Dance style documentary that was on a certain team or something here? And it's just like, we need to stop making those comparisons. I think there's some weird fascination in Australian sport of trying to appeal to that American market when I don't think we need to, because we've got a good game here. We don't need to change that. So I think any comparisons to MJ or ranking which NRL team is Scottie Pippen like, I don't think we need any of those, because
Raiders,
why? I mean,
I don't know.
Everyone's second team.
Yeah,
second best player.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure it's the Warriors now anyway.
100%.
Anyway,
Warriors should be allowed to draft in a couple of players too. That's my other one. That's my another thing.
Would you take Dennis Rodman?
100%. Anyone. Sam Thaiday, Blake Ashford, bring him back.
I like 100% agree with you, Lockie, and it's getting painful, but there is a little bit of an exemption that I'll give to the Penrith Panthers. I don't know if you saw on Monday. They all came in like super dressed up, like you'd see NBA players would. And then you had Isaiah coming in his Ricky Bobby outfit. I don't know. I kind of love that.
I would be here for them doing that in the games this season. It would add that extra element that they don't have to walk through the crowd signing autographs this year. They can just rock up in whatever they want, hop off the team bus. It would be very good, I reckon.